Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Welcome, 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 one and all. Yes, it's the Stadia Monday Night Chat. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Hello, chat. Evening all. It's me, Clive Linden, your host for tonight, as I take you on a buzz-filled, joyous trip to Stadia Land tonight. I hope you're buzzing. I hope you're hyped. I hope you're excited. What a week in Stadia, ladies and gentlemen. With more to come over the next few days, starting tomorrow, 5 p.m. UK time. It's all coming together very, very nicely. As I think I said it would upon this channel many times, ladies and gentlemen. But before we delve into all that was last week and all that might be this week, do me a massive favour. Hit those likes, sub if you are new here, and say hi to everyone in the chat. Hello, chat. How are you? Members, thank you again, once again. Arigatou gozaimasu. Flash them member badges, those member emotes. If you're feeling left out, people, non-members, there's a solution. It's called the join button. Press it. You never know. Might be fun. Hey. I hope you are all well there, chat. And as per normal, as per usual, let me know in the chat what you've been playing. Later on, we'll be talking about what your expectations are with the 3 days of good stuff that is coming up. But more on that later, everybody, more on that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, right. Shall we do this? Let's get to it with a roundup of a terrific week for Stadia. Yeah, it's news time, ladies and gentlemen, news time. So, of course, goes without saying, the last few days, last week or so has been a cracking week for Stadia. Cake Bash was launched. Anybody got Cake Bash? I bought it. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I bought it for me and my kids, really, to play, to cheer them up now and then, but I ended up getting a bit depressed because I wasn't very good at it. But that's not the main thing, of course. Along with the Cake Bake announcement, we had the announcement of good stuff. More on that later. But let's just have a little quick look at that. The good stuff here. Specifically, get ready for exciting game announcements. Just bear that in mind. Stadia only hands-on surprises. Stadia only. Very interesting. 3 days, 3 games to try. So presumably, each day there'll be a brand new game to try. Play exclusive demos. Now, again, I'll discuss this later, but there's a full stop there. So does that suggest that there are 3 games to try, plus some demos? And watch awesome reveals of more games headed to Stadia. All starts October the 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific time or 5 p.m. UK time for those that, of course, are in the UK. Are you hyped? Are you excited? But, of course, the week didn't stop with that. Oh, no. Absolutely not. We had, ladies and gentlemen, what else did we had? We had further announcements here of Ubisoft games. More Ubisoft games coming our way, ladies and gentlemen. Which a lot of them, of course, we knew they were coming, but it's just good to see them announced. We know that some of these had been, certified at ESRB. Some of them we knew were coming anyway. So Watchdog Legions, yeah, we knew that. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry. We all know those were coming, but we'd also seen rumors or on ESRB certification sites, some of these other titles. But it's good that they're being announced. And of course, the great thing is they're coming very, very soon. We've got here Watchdog Legions within 10 days. Watchdog Legions is coming. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, November the 10th, basically a week or so before you know what. And Far Cry 6 coming in February next year. And as far as the other one's concerned, there isn't a date. It's interesting. No date attached to these. Don't know whether that suggests that they are coming in the form of Uplay Plus, which we'll discuss later, or they'll just all be dropped at the same time. But as I say, more big, recognizable, respected AAA games filling out the Stadia library. So all good. So as I say, we've got none of this is even the good stuff. That's the cool thing. And of course, the big one, ladies and gentlemen, the really big one. You know what I'm going to go. You know where I'm going with this, ladies and gentlemen. You know where I'm going. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. Cyberpunk 2077 coming to Stadia 19th of 11th to 2020. Day on date, as we say. Day on date. Pre-order as well. Pre-orders. I mean, oh my days. Oh my days, as we say in the streets. That is pretty impressive. And again, this isn't even part of the good stuff. All of this, and the Stadia marketing team, of course, have been top notch. They're beginning to continue to fire on all cylinders. Because we had, he says, trying to find it. Let's just get rid of that. We had more top of the range marketing from Stadia here. Let's just get to that. Whoop. Yeah, you have what it takes. What a great marketing byline. You have what it takes. I mean, such a clever marketing line that, you've got all the kit you need to start playing these games straight away. And some great little, games here that we know, Cyberpunk. It's interesting to see the amount of time certain games are featured. So Tomb Raider, obviously, Madden, more Madden, more Madden, Cyberpunk, of course we know, more Cyberpunk, Sekiro, I say Shakira then, Outcasts, that was Rain, Jedi, or Cyberpunk. I only mention these because it's interesting the amount of time or the amount of game footage of these games are featured in here, which I think is indicative, of that they're coming soon, and I'll discuss that later as well. But a really more Jedi Fallen, a really top-notch marketing ad from Stadia. It's really coming together, and I think that's really cool. And of course, I saved a little shot here. Pac-Man was spotted by many people, and the official Pac-Man Twitter sort of said, "Hi, we see you," to the official Google Stadia. So I think that means it's official. A Pac-Man of some sort. I checked out the various Pac-Man games, the Pac-Man Championships, and none of them look like this. I know One to Escape suggested it might be an adaptation of the Apple version. There's an Apple version of Pac-Man. But, and again, it's got that cross between Super Bomberman and the different rooms. You see the little sort of alleyways that you can go through to the different rooms. So is it a Pac-Man Battle Royale? We will find out. Maybe it's one of the demos. Who knows? Anyway, as I say, overall, really top-notch marketing. Continuing on the sort of the last couple of sort of marketing videos that, Stadia have done. And I don't think this is a coincidence. None of this is a coincidence. I think this is a coming together of lots of things that they've had planned for a while. I mean, that's the key thing. Good evening, Dominic there. Jerome, everyone. As I say, I don't think this is a coincidental at all. This is this improvement in the marketing. I think now they have things to shout about. The amount of games they've got, the amount of games that are coming, with more content to come over the next few weeks. So the marketing is coming to a real head here. It's terrific stuff. I mean, I absolutely love it. I love it. And it needs to be, because, they are competing in the noisy gaming marketing space that we're in right now, as we come to the holiday season and the platform launches, etc. And everybody's fighting for attention in that lead up to Christmas. Anecdotally, I've also seen a sea change in terms of how Stadia and cloud gaming are perceived in the sort of general marketing and in journalism and sort of YouTube game commentators, specifically since the launch of xCloud and the announcement of Luna. I've seen tech journalists who've tried xCloud and been blown away that, hey, you could play AAA games on your phone. It's amazing. I saw a top tech YouTuber going, wow, I'm playing a top AAA game on my phone. This is amazing, when he was testing out xCloud. I mean, who knew? GeForce and Stadia are over there going, hello. We have been here all along. Hello. And then you get these tech journos going, yeah, technically xCloud, obviously it's not quite as good as Stadia. Oh, now Stadia's good, is it? Yeah, but it's got the Xbox Games Pass, so that's okay. So the truth about the sort of tech-wise Stadia is beginning to come out, the acceptability. I mean, it's brilliant. So now cloud gaming works, apparently. Yeah, thanks to xCloud, apparently it works. And apparently it's the new cool, yeah? It's the thing to like. Whew, who knew? And hard though it is, they have to admit Stadia is better tech-wise. Even though, of course, we all know the business model sucks because you have to sub and pay for games. Wrong. They have no games. Hello? Slowly but surely, many of the criticisms levelled at Stadia, erroneously or correctly, have been ticked off, proved inaccurate or false. Oh, well, there's too much latency in cloud gaming for it to work. Nope, works just fine. Stadia has no games. I think they're on track to deliver 100 plus games in the first year for a brand new platform with no legacy platform behind it, that is pretty impressive, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty impressive. Yeah, but there's no AAA titles it's all indies. It's all indies. Yeah. Well, apart from Doom Eternal, Marvel's Avengers, Formula 1, Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legions, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Oh. Well, there's no pre-orders. Yeah, we've got pre-orders already. Please note the Cyberpunk thing. Yeah, we're starting those. Yeah, but the business model sucks. I mean, having to subscribe and buy your games, that's ridiculous. It's free. What? You just buy the games and you play for free. What? Yeah, it's free. Stadia is free. You just buy a game. It says so on the marketing. Yeah? Check out the Cyberpunk page. Let's check it out. There. No subscription needed. No subscription needed. Pre-order on Stadia. Scroll down to the bottom. Play instantly on 19th of November. Buy Cyberpunk 2077 and it's yours to keep. Stadia Pro subscription not required. Not required. Ladies and gentlemen. I think I made my point. Yeah? So all these things that have been sort of either erroneously or you could argue, okay, maybe you've got a point, criticism-wise at Stadia. So then, of course, it comes down to, yeah, well, you don't own your own games. Yeah, mate. It's the 21st century, really. No one owns their own games. We live in a digital age. We don't own our movies. We don't own our music. But we're all good, yeah? We're all good. Nothing. They've got nothing. Nothing of any validity. No leg to stand on. Their credibility is shot. Wolock there. Woo! Thank you for the cool super chat. The only reason not to like Stadia is an irrational and emotional dislike for Google or cloud gaming in general. And that I can't help you with. You need a psychologist. Regular viewers to my channel, like the many of you, of course, here, and my various guest appearances on the fellow Stadia community podcasts, etc., will know I have consistently said that Stadia wants to be in a position, come their anniversary, which is a month from now, where they can stand on the virtual stage, as it were, and say, we outlined a vision of what Stadia was and is going to be. And in year one, we have delivered X, loads of stuff. We've proved it works. We've delivered the games, with more to come in the very near future. All these features. This is clearly coming to fruition. The seeds planted early are bearing fruit, ladies and gentlemen. They're bearing fruit. Things are shaping up nicely with the prospect of the EA games that we know are coming very, very soon, Uplay Plus, and the massive, massive announcement of day and date Cyberpunk 2077. We can spend ages, and I try not to, but we can spend ages looking at the hate Stadia's had from the mainstream game media and YouTube gaming channels, often driven by lazy journalism, agenda-led perspectives, and just goddamn plain ignorance and stupidity. Yeah, stupidity. I said it. Yeah, I said it. Stupidity, Layman Gaming, Dreamcast Guy, Yong Ye, and IG Gaming. Mostly because they have never tried Stadia. So therefore are strangely, in my opinion, strangely unqualified to give a valid opinion on whether the tech actually works. only Alana Pierce, aka Trelana Hazard, whatever her nickname is, I know as Alana Pierce, has come out with any credibility out of this. And why is that? This is I for IGN, whatever, Inside Gaming, because she tried it. She tried Stadia at the beginning. She was paid to try it, but she tried it, but she saw that it works, and she said that it works, and it works well. Because she tried it. Yeah, she questioned the business model and the games, etc., but the tech was undeniable. So she's defended Stadia in the past because she's tested it and tried it. So what last year has shown me is that, like anything in life, there's a world of armchair experts who've been exposed for what they are, unqualified and ill-informed. It's like getting your COVID advice from Mad Barry down the pub rather than a doctor or a scientist. And why did these YouTubers have so many goddamn followers if they're so ignorant? And it's, if it's about Stadia, they're clearly ignorant about lots of other things as well. But even within the Stadia community, Jerry, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Even within the Stadia community, I've seen so many doubters, pessimists, misinformed, and generally grumpy people on, but let's face it, on Reddit. Well, I mean, it's Reddit, Clive. I know, I get it. That's Reddit. Google never promised everything all at once. Stadia is less than a year old. COVID happened. And yet, when it comes to the Stadia end-of-year school report, I think it will look good. Yeah? A B+, maybe an A. Yeah, some stumbles here and there, could do better in a few things. But they had a roadmap. They kept to it where they could, given what's been happening in the world, And now, as the first year anniversary comes into sight, things look very, very bright. Project Storm, we are not worthy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Project Storm. It may be that COVID and other delays have resulted in all the good things that we're seeing now being concertinaed into the last month. Or maybe it was planned. I don't know. But I'll take it. I'll take that. I'll buy that for $1. So, why have I been so confident in my view of Stadia all this time? Why do I get so frustrated with the doomsayers? Why, have I, along with a handful of people within the Stadia community, the Project Storms, MM2Ks and other people, have continued to question the veracity of bad journalism or question the general grumpiness of those that have been down on Stadia within and without the community. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'll share it with you now. I had faith in Stadia. Not blind faith. No. Faith maybe is the wrong word. But a faith driven by understanding, facts, common sense, and business experience, having worked within the gaming and media industry all my working life. These are the things, the knowledge and the facts and the reading up, the information that I applied. Anecdote time. Just under 20 years ago, for my work, I attended a big meeting at Sony. Now, why was it a big meeting? Because one of those attendees was considered one of the most important people within the gaming industry at the time, a certain Phil Harrison. Phil Harrison was the head of Sony then in Europe and was a core member of the team for Sony that successfully launched all of the PlayStation family of hardware formats and software that have helped expand the market for computer gaming and computer entertainment. So it was a big meeting. In addition, as a Westerner, he was given the very, very important role of heading up the whole of Sony Studios worldwide. A big sign of respect and credibility by a Japanese-owned company to give him a global role across all their studios. He was a big deal 20 years ago. And then, he continued to be a big deal. Then he worked at Microsoft Game Studios. He was on the board of Gaikai, an early cloud gaming service back in 2010. How that would have worked, I've no idea. And in January 2018, he joined Google. Not Stadia, Google at that time. Because Stadia didn't exist. The name didn't exist. Basically, to lead Google's push into cloud gaming. This guy knows what he's doing, has immense respect in the games industry, and is a games industry veteran. But Clive, that's just one person. That doesn't mean success. Quite right. One person does not make a business success. So then we have to look at the hires around him. Who's he brought in? Jade Raymond. Who's she brought in? Shannon Studstill. Highly respected games industry veterans with major games behind their names, with major credibility in the industry, and other countless hires we may not be familiar with. You add into this mix some of the best tech engineers in the world on the cutting edge of cloud services and AI and all of that. And that makes for a mighty combination. All of this points to the long haul. A building of something special, not just building a service by which to deliver games via streaming. That would have been the easy option, yeah? Why didn't they make all their code in Windows rather than, Vulkan and Linux and all that kind of stuff? That would have been the easy option, yeah? But they're not just building a service, as I said. A service just to deliver games like GeForce or xCloud. No, they're not. They're building a cloud gaming platform. Yeah? A console in the cloud to develop for. A brand new concept in the marketplace. But any long-haul journey takes planning and time. None of this would be there from day one. You need to introduce, the concept first to developers. Hence GDC 2019. Then early tech adopters, I think in June 2019 and August 2019. That's you and me and all of us who were early adopters. And then the mass market. Let's say April 2020 when we sort of had the free tier. It's not easy to keep the information at each stage targeted at each of those core target demographics. They say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And we sort of saw very clearly with the misinterpretation by journos of things that, they didn't quite get. I can't quite get it into my head. I think it's like Netflix. Yeah, it's Netflix. It's a subscription service like Netflix. I can't get it in my head. It's too new. Maybe Google could have done better explaining, but we would be naive to think everything would be there by day one. And people should know better. Back in 2019, when Phil Harrison stood on the stage and introduced the concept of Stadia, who was he talking to then, way back in March 2019? Developers and publishers. He was outlining a vision that would start with a launch and build from there. To me, that was clear. Yeah, I get that. They're building something. Yeah, it's in stages, yeah? I got it. They were building something big. And then later in the year, they invited people to sign up as Stadia founders. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm in. To join the journey and start playing and buying games on the system. Yeah, on the platform. I was in, mate. I was in straight away. Signed up straight away. Having seen that cloud gaming kind of works-ish with xCloud Beta, and to a certain degree to Shadow PC way back then, I kind of knew that if anyone could really make it work, Google can. And then in addition to that, the word coming from the early Project Cloud demos and the Doom 2016 tests, so the early demo with Assassin's Creed and the Doom 2016 tests were very positive. This is amazing tech. This was some people like Digital Foundry at the time. This is way back in 2019. So to me, it was all very promising. I mean, maybe, I've had the advantage of working within massive media corporations for most of my life. I've spent time in the games industry. But one thing I have learned in business is that things take time. Relationships need to be built. Deals need to be done. Building a brand new platform, entering a well-established market as a new entrant, bringing consumers and the industry with you is a monumental task. These things don't happen at the speed to satisfy impatient gamers addicted to, and hungry for every bit and scrap of information. They take time. You need to give a company that time, especially when they're trying to introduce a brand new concept. And especially you need to give them the time when they actually tell you these things will be delivered over time and not from day one. Google actually made that clear to anyone bothered to listen properly. In a 5-year business plan, year 1 is a very short period of time. In a 10-year business plan, it's even smaller. I mean, look at Netflix, how it became an industry disruptor. That took 10 years nearly. Working in the television industry for the last 15 years, I see and I deal with the impact that Netflix has had on the traditional television marketplace, the television industry. Yeah, the television business model. Traditional broadcasters, big companies like Disney, everybody's had to tear up their standard business model. I see it in my job day to day. Ray Sherrard, whoop whoop. Thank you, my friend. It's forced major corporations to revolutionize and completely change how they do business, from the BBC, from Disney, and many, many others. All because of Netflix, the Netflix influence. But that's grown over time, over the last 10 years or so. Now Netflix is an actual verb, yeah? To Netflix and chill. Or is that an adjective? Adjective or verb? Get muddled up. A bit like Hoover. It's become a word. That's how big Netflix is and how ground-changing it is. But rest assured, when you have game industry veterans at the helm, you've got to have faith in the fact that I think they know what they're doing. Plus, they've got the funding behind them because it's Google. So, on paper, it makes sense. And Stadia are in this for the long haul. And it's still early days, people. Give them an annual appraisal. Yeah, that's fine. Of course, we should give them an annual appraisal, but not a weekly one, ladies and gentlemen. The games industry doesn't work like that. I mean, you're talking about a business where games take 3 to 5 years to develop, sometimes longer. Hello, Cyberpunk. 1 year is a short period of time. I mean, I believe that COVID clearly hasn't had, COVID's really had an impact on every industry. So that's obviously had an impact on the Stadia roadmap. But if it is about delivering things over the year, if a few of those things have been delayed along the way and now coming at the end of the year, then that's fine. I was always going to judge Stadia over the year, not on a week-to-week basis. Sometimes in the Stadia community, you see an almost bipolar reaction. One week it's all doom. Oh, that's it. Stadia's finished. No, I'm done. I'm done with Stadia. No, that's it. Yeah. What? No Stadia on the new Chromecast for Google TV. That's it. No, they don't care. Google don't care about Stadia. I'm done. Yeah. What a load of bollocks, man. Pull yourself together. Because the following week you get something like Baldur's Gate 3 or Dead by Daylight with, crowd choice and all that. And it's, oh, this is amazing. Stadia's amazing. I love it again. Oh, Stadia's wonderful. It's like up and then down and then up and it's down. Got to judge it in the round, the bigger picture. The day before the good stuff and the Far Cry games announcements and the subsequent Cyberpunk 2077 day and date announcements. So this is the day before this happened. I saw a post on Google Stadia. Somebody put a post on the Google Stadia Facebook group, 12,000 members, yeah? Well, let's just say it did not age well. Yeah? Basically, it was along the lines of, that's it, I'm done with Stadia. I was a founder, but they've not delivered on any of their promises. There are no games, etc., etc., etc. I'm done. Out. The following day, you had the good stuff announcement. Ubisoft games and Cyberpunk coming day and date happened. 3 things. 1, don't announce your departure, in a forum like that. It's not a flipping airport lounge. No one cares. Just leave the party. Yeah, you don't have to tell anyone you're leaving. Just leave. 2, don't be impatient. Yeah, don't be impatient. Especially when they have constantly announced loads of games coming by the end of the year. We're coming up to the end of the year. So obviously they're all going to be concertinaed. We're coming up to that end of the year. We know dates of many games that are coming. And 3, what's that? What's that knocking at the door I hear? Oh, you're knocking at the door a bit sheepish, asking to come back in now, are you? Come on then. Yeah? Come in. Come back in. It's all right. That's the beauty of the Stadia business model, ladies and gentlemen. All your pro games you claimed, yeah? Remember all those pro games you claimed, yeah? When you stormed off? They're still there for you, yeah? All the games that you bought, yeah, before you stormed off, yeah? They're still there for you. So come back in. Yeah, come back in. We won't say anything, will we? We won't say anything, yeah? Idiot. It got me thinking about Stadia that there is no metaphoric door to slam in a huff. Because you just sign into a browser and boom, you're playing all your games again. You can't walk out the door in a huff because your games are just on a browser. You just sign in with your email and everything's there for you. And it's free. Anyway. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. 2077, ladies and gentlemen. The announcement, ladies and gentlemen. You can still, thank you, chat, and everybody's been super cool and giving me super chats and all that. Really, really appreciated. You could probably tell by my voice. My voice sounds a bit funny. I think I know I'm still recovering slightly from man flu. Anyway, there we go. The announcement of Cyberpunk 2077, ladies and gentlemen, coming day and date is massive. I think you'll all agree. Absolutely massive. Look at that date. Enjoy the date up there. Yeah. And I think to some degree, bear with me on this, I think to some degree it's an opportunity that probably wasn't there 6 months ago. It has given Stadia a lot of credibility and made a lot of game commentators look pretty foolish. Young sorry, my cough. Young sorry. We always knew Cyberpunk 2077 was coming to Stadia. Okay, since 2019 we've known this. We've also known it was going to be, albeit a little later than the other main platforms. This was always the case that, you know, when Cyberpunk was due to arrive in April, Stadia would be coming a little bit later. And then it was pushed back to September. Nothing changed. Stadia would be arriving a little bit later. And then it was pushed back to November. And again, the sensible analysis is that the Stadia version would be arriving a little later. But officially, by the end of the year. Yeah? So we always knew there was the delay, despite the Yongye video about, oh my God, I can't believe they're delaying, erroneously saying they've delayed the Stadia version. They hadn't delayed it. It was never delayed. It was always coming later. Anyway, old news now, history. But realistically, when they say by the end of the year, that means realistically before Christmas. It doesn't mean by 31st of December. I mean, nobody's at work, the last sort of week or so of Christmas, are they? So realistically, that meant before Christmas. So at the most, that would only be about 4 weeks after the November the 19th launch date. So it's clear to me, this is my hypothesis, that each stage that the Cyberpunk 2077 delivery was delayed, the gap between the main platform release and the Stadia release shortened as the port effectively caught up within the development process. What was probably an impossibility back in April, however much money you threw at it, and I remember people say, they just want to take a suitcase of money to CD Projekt Red and get it done. It doesn't matter. It would have been impossible, probably back in April, to get a Stadia version day and date in April. Yeah? But as that delay got pushed further and further away, I think the gap between that and the Stadia version, they had a chance basically to catch up on the Stadia version, a chance they didn't have way back in April. So on that basis, I think those at Stadia, you Phil, you Jade and all of that, would have been well aware of the credibility and marketing opportunity that was now in front of them. One that was most unlikely 6 months previous. So whether it was Stadia helping CD Projekt Red with a bag of money close that gap, say whether it was to help close that gap financially or technically, we won't know. We don't know. Don't care now. But my view is that the delays have played into Stadia's hands. I mean, I'll be honest, I doubted it would be day and date because they'd consistently said it wouldn't be. But clearly, as the original delivery on the platforms got delayed and laid, I think they had a chance to catch up the Stadia version. An opportunity was seen, and that gap was closed. Because it was always going to be a port of the finished game. I think what the delays have done maybe have allowed them to actually catch up and go through the alpha, beta, and the sort of final gold stages with Stadia at the same time as the other platforms. And they probably had to concentrate their efforts on the next generation versions as well on top of that. Beyond that. So whatever the reason, who cares? Whatever the reason, I'm really, really pleased. And I, as I imagine many of you are, as I know to the Stadia community, it is very, very satisfying. Super satisfying. It's a massive boost. It's more than I even thought was going to happen, to be honest. It's a massive boost to the Stadia platform. A huge, huge, huge sign of credibility within the games community. No longer will we have to add the caveat when talking about Cyberpunk 2077. It's coming to Stadia. Yeah, but a little later. Yeah, it's coming a little later. Yeah. No, don't have to put up with that now. No longer we have to put up with the brickbats from PS and Xboxes and PC Master Race about, you playing Cyberpunk 2077 yet? Oh no, I forgot. It's coming later in the year. Not anymore, mate. In fact, if anything, ladies and gentlemen, if anything, given download times, it'll probably be the Stadia players who are playing the game first. Remember, click and play. Click and play. And the word on the street as well. I'll just share this little tweet here. Find it. Bear with. I saw a tweet from the QA lead at CD Projekt Red. Here it is. So this guy, Lucas Babil, sorry, Lucas, if I pronounced your name rather rubbish. Yep, Today, you can see on his LinkedIn, he works at QA lead, LinkedIn, it says on Twitter there. So he's the QA lead. He probably, I used to work with QA leads. They usually manage a team of, depending on what size the game is, but I think about 90 people, all testing the game for different versions and stuff like that. Anyway, he tweeted this out. Yep. Today I played Cyberpunk 2077 on my phone using a PS4 controller. Mind blown. Could have been the GeForce Now version. Who knows? No, and then he posted this. So it's the Stadia version he's talking about. My bad. He's talking about this. So he reposted his official Cyberpunk announcement about Stadia. Mind blown. This is coming from the QA lead. They're a cynical old bunch, guys. But obviously, rightfully proud of his game. And why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't he be? But it's good. It's good that they're talking up, one of the versions. I think. What if you spotted that league? So anyway, the point is, Cyberpunk is an absolute amazing thing that it's coming day and date. A real fillip to Stadia, the Stadia community, an opportunity for the wider gaming community to play one of the most anticipated games when it's at its most topical and hot, i.e. launch day and that launch week. And it is a big, big win that we as the Stadia community should absolutely savour and enjoy, people. Absolutely savour and enjoy it. Which brings us nicely to the 3 days of good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. 3 days of good stuff. So, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Bear with. Okay, so, as I said, we had the announcement of the 3 days of good stuff, the Ubisoft games announcements, and Cyberpunk 2077. So the Ubisoft games announcements and Cyberpunk 2077 are not part, they're not part of the good stuff. So we had the good stuff announcement, then we had those two announcements, and they're not part of the good stuff. What the hell is the good stuff? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you think the good stuff is, man. What is the good stuff, ladies and gentlemen? What clues are there in the blog post? What clues can we, eke out? Let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen. So, get ready for exciting game announcements. Game announcements. Okay, good. Stadia only hands-on surprises. Stadia only hands-on surprises. Something you could do with Stadia. So are they talking about games or are they talking about something else? 3 days, full stop. 3 games to try. So as I said earlier, presumably it's a game a day. They're going to drop. And then full stop here. Play exclusive demos and watch awesome reveals of more games to head to Stadia. So more games. But it's interesting here. 3 games to try, full stop, and play exclusive demos. They look like separate things to me. I don't know about you, but I'm reading that as 2 separate things. There'll be 3 games to try, 1 on each day, plus there'll be exclusive demos. So I'm kind of using that, those sort of the clues in there as a guide. So is there a difference, the question is, between the 3 games to try and the play exclusive demos? I think there are. I think those statements are 2 separate things. So what is the good stuff? Well, realistically, I think it's games, and more games, ladies and gentlemen. That's clear. They say game announcements, game reveals, games to play, demos to play. Games. So therefore, let's start with what I think it is not. Okay? What I think it is not. Number 1. It is not Gen 2. Oh my gosh. Stop talking about that as the thing. Yeah? I'll tell you why. In my opinion, Gen 2 is something that will evolve and adapt. Stadia has the ability to keep evolving and updating. I think Gen 2 is just a sort of a lazy name for ongoing improvements and tech. Gen 2 will just happen over time. I don't think there'll be like a Gen 2 moment. It'll just evolve, probably in the background. It's not a big moment in time. It's not, I don't think, also of interest to the mainstream, yeah, or the casual gamer. Maybe there'll be talks about it or announcements at GDC 2021. You might hear some updates at a side seminar, etc., aimed at developers. Now, I think the good stuff, as the other previous Connects, are aimed at mainstream gamers. They just want to know, like, what the games come in. And are they the big games that we all think are big games? You know, the big EA games and all those sort of games. You know, the generally considered big games. Are they coming? That's what people want to know. So, Gen 2, no. That's background stuff. That'll happen. Stadia features? Well, Stadia only hands-on surprises could be Stadia features. Again, I think they'll only be announced in the context of certain games. So yeah, we might get YouTube streaming and family share. Maybe an exception, as mainstream gamers do sort of care about those things to some degree. So I think we might see that. So we're using this framework, in my view. This is the framework of target marketing and the clues in the blog post that I've used to kind of work out what I think the good stuff will be, ladies and gentlemen. So for me, as I said, I think it's going to be games, and more games, you know. And realistically, I'm not expecting anything more. Now, we saw a lot of Madden 21 and Jedi Fallen featured really, really heavy in that marketing that we saw earlier, the new latest marketing ad. And you don't market a product while heavily featuring games that are a long way from coming. Yeah. So I think Madden 21 and Jedi Fallen, possibly FIFA, although I didn't see any FIFA usage in those clips, which is either a sort of FIFA rights thing, because I know FIFA are very, very hot on rights. They couldn't get it for the advert, which sounds a bit weird, but because it's in their interest, but these things happen. Or FIFA's not in that mix. But I think Madden 21 Jedi Fallen will have launch dates. If not, even, hey, who knows? The games might even drop. But I think they'll certainly be given launch dates, and those launch dates will certainly be this side of Xmas. Uplay Plus as well, given the amount of Ubisoft games that were announced last week, that certainly looks like a realistic expectation. Could be filed under Stadia only hands-on surprises. It's hands-on though. It's weird wording. But I think Uplay Plus definitely, again, an announcement about that. Whether it's going to drop then and there or just an announcement of date and pricing, who knows. EA Play is possibly coming next year. I see EA Play coming next year. Google might want to hold on to this for announcing next year, given Stadia's sort of past record of announcements. I think that might be likely. But I can see it coming. I can see EA coming. Dominic, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Much appreciated. And of course, the new Pac-Man game that we talked on leaked in the marketing ad. I mean, that wasn't a mistake. So that's what I think in terms of games. As far as the 3 demos, I'm a bit of a loss. Phoenix Rising, obviously, because we know we're getting that demo. We know there's exclusive content in that demo. So that one would make sense. Talking of demos, thank you, Dominic. Talking of demos, it dawned on me recently that cloud gaming is the best place to have demos. And therefore, it's a real incentive to publishers. And I think more and more publishers are going to start seeing this. The instant nature of click and play and the impulse-driven world that we live in, it's a really compelling factor of cloud gaming. Yeah, no downloads. You can satisfy that itch straight away. Just click and demo. and you're testing the game straight away. Like it, buy it, you're playing it straight away. That's a really compelling offering. And I think publishers are going to really see that. And I think interestingly enough, over the next 3 days, with these sort of try a game a day thing or try a demo, I think publishers will really see, wake up and go, wait a minute, this is such an easy way to engage people instantly. Anyone could just try it in a browser. No, you don't need any in-game equipment. You don't need to download it onto your Xbox or your PlayStation or on your PC. You don't have to be sitting at your PC. You know, if you've got a Chromecast Ultra and you can just try it. But even if you're on your computer and you don't have a subscription to Stadia, you can just try the demo instantly. That's a really cool feature, I think, that more and more publishers will see in cloud gaming. And I think, you'll see it in Luna, you obviously see it in Xbox a lot. But in my opinion, I think it means demos, the opportunity for demos to be tested by tried by a much wider group of people than just those with gaming PCs or consoles. You can try it on your phone and all that. More and more developers and publishers will see this advantage and they'll come on board. But what other demos? I'm not really sure. My feeling is that they may all be Ubisoft titles, which is fine, as a way to entice you into Uplay Plus. But then my thoughts on that is, why not just give a free trial for a week or a month of Uplay Plus, personally? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Maybe they're brand new games that we've never heard of, or an EA game. Maybe a trial of an EA game. Personally, I'd like to see another big non-EA or Ubisoft game come. But I think all the big games will probably be EA and Ubisoft games. I'm hoping there's some other big publishers there. Outcasters maybe gets a shout. I think maybe that gets dropped this week. Although I think the developers did say that they were not part of the good stuff. It's not saying Outcasters won't get dropped this week. They're not saying that they're just not part of that good stuff. Maybe they're playing a double bluff, just adding to the mystery. But hey, look, it's all good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, yeah? We had an amazing week last week. So, I'm not trying to overthink it. I think it's just like a series of mini connects, because we are due one in October. So I just want to enjoy the surprises, yeah? I just want to enjoy the surprises. Temper my expectations, although given the hype, that's really hard. It's a really hard thing to do. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But I hope you do too. I hope you temper your expectations and just enjoy it. All I ask is that you do not be that kid at Christmas who parents give them loads of nice prezzies, but because it's not the Zenith 10,000 flim flam whatchamacallit that little Johnny's parents gave him down the street, I hate you, Mum and Dad, I hate you. And you throw all your toys out the window. Yeah? Don't be that guy. Don't be that selfish brat with a meltdown. Oh, it's not the game I wanted. Don't be that guy. Just enjoy the 3-day event like a kind of 3-day Christmas, yeah? Hopefully there'll be something for most people, yeah? That's all you can ask for. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. I will see whether we can get the chat up. If it's going to fire on all guns, let me just see if I can get it. Yes! Oh my God! It's happening, people. It's happening. Let's have a look here. Stadia Goat says, 3-day event is an excellent way of getting into the game cycle. I think we can go a bit further back than some of these chats. Let me have a look. See if I can dig out some further ones for you, ladies and gentlemen. Barry says, I think Madden is much closer than FIFA. I think you are, because there was certainly no FIFA content. But I say that could be a rights issue. Seems a bit weird if it is. Carlos is saying Assassin's Creed Valhalla as a trial, as a demo. Maybe. It seems like maybe, as I say, one option is to demo some of the Ubisoft games as sort of enticement to Uplay Plus, but then why wouldn't you just, I don't know, give a trial to Uplay Plus? That's my kind of view. Sunny Cloud Gaming, how are you, my friend? Woo woo! Welcome, Shokyu! Welcome, Shokyu! Thank you, Sunny Cloud Gaming. Much appreciated for becoming a member. The baby rants when the game doesn't come out, etc. When the game doesn't come out. Oh, tell me about it. You get things like, where's Star Citizen? I want Star Citizen. Stadia's rubbish. There's no Star Citizen. And you go, well, okay. Could we see Hyperscape? Come on, Ubisoft. I thought we were buddies. I thought we were friends. That'd be cool. Monster Hunter. Is that the one from Capcom? Squids. Yeah. Xbox has the marketing rights to ACV. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I never really know what the marketing rights are. Often the marketing rights are certain things, can be quite specific. So it may not rule out some activity. It might not rule out activity with Stadia. It depends on the nature of those marketing rights. They have marketing rights to, Cyberpunk, but I've seen Cyberpunk do marketing with, GeForce Now, with secret chairs and stuff. So it can be limited what those marketing rights are. I mean, I think Xbox had the marketing rights in terms of getting Keanu Reeves on the stage at the Xbox event. That's the sort of set of marketing rights. Oh yeah, Road Company would be great. I need another PvP type thing other than PUBG. I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know why I keep playing PUBG. Yeah, whatever happened to Destroy All Humans or whatever it is? Hell Monkey, exactly. Maybe that'll drop. We know it's coming. That's the thing. It's like no good getting upset about it because we know Destroy All Humans is coming. Just another game to list on the coming soon kind of thing. So maybe that's there. It's about time. Well, you never know, Resurrector. There could be Ubisoft games. I am not in the Chase tournament. I don't play enough of Rogue Company. I haven't fired up my Xbox in quite a while, and that's where I've got my Rogue Company. Yeah, I haven't fired it up for a while. Maybe I should get into it. Mule Spud, whatever happened to that platformer built around StateShare they talked about? Good question. I'm not sure. Whatever happened to that. Be interesting. But yeah, kill all humans, or destroy all humans. That's missing in action, so you never know. Dominic, I do think this is a mini Connect. Yeah, I think they have, and I love the idea of 3 days, 3 games. It's such a brilliant concept because it works on a number of levels. Not only are they sort of giving people an opportunity to try games, a different game each day, it's also showing the sort of the advantages of cloud gaming, especially cloud gaming on Stadia. The fact that these games, you just go to the browser and you log in and you play the games. You don't have to go, I've got to download it onto my Xbox and then I can play it. Like, just to me, it's instant. And I think the fact that they do this every day and then you can instantly play really sells the concept of cloud gaming and will get people in. Try before you buy. It's the oldest selling trick in the thing. If you've got a good product, that's why, people at your supermarket are going, try some cheese. Try some brand new cheese. Oh, yeah, I'll have half a kilogram of it, please. Yum, yum. Whatever it is, whatever your tipple is. I'll have a sample of that. Thank you. Try before you buy. If it's good, people will buy. If you've got confidence in the product. Anyway, and I think and it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the games, the publishers. Because it gets people playing their game and going, oh, I'd like to buy that. And it's a win-win for Stadia because it means that, hopefully they get subscribers and people see how brilliant Stadia is. And, and also maybe not brilliant for them, but if it works for them, that's the key thing. Because as we know, if it works for you really sweet. Yeah, and that's the key thing. So, yeah, Dominic, and it seems to be more and more of a message now. As I said, I showed on the Cyberpunk, page. Twice it's mentioned, on the drop-down box and at the bottom when you pre-order, subscription not required. Absolutely clear. Not free. They've made it even because people have said, oh, that's a bit misleading because it sounds like it's free because you sign up and then you start paying. So they've made it even more clear on a lot of the marketing. No subscription, because that's what people think of. Oh, it's a sub. You got to subscribe to Stadia, don't you? You got to sub. No subscription. It says it now. And I think that's, I think that's more effective than free, in my view. Because people, just think, oh, it's just a free trial and then you subscribe. But no subscription necessary is such a big thing. And you see that on the bottom of every if they start doing more game pages like they've done with the Cyberpunk game page, and you start seeing that, the message will slowly get into people's head. So that's the key thing with that. Yeah, that Halloween event for Hyperscape, Barry. Exactly. Look, I'm surprised, to be honest, Hyperscape isn't on Stadia. Given the relationship that Stadia has with Ubisoft. To me, that is a sort of an anomaly. Hello, Michael, my friend, how are you? That Hyperscape's not there, so, we could see it. I want a game I'm not that I'm any good at it. I'm not that I'm very good at PUBG. But PUBG is a sort of, it'll do, but it's such a potato of a game. I want Apex Legends. Just something I could just dip into, like a Rogue Company or a Hyperscape or Apex Legends. Because remember, the exciting thing, of course, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, there are 5 EA games we know are coming. 2 of which we don't know. And there will be more news on that. Phil Harrison said back in April, we'll have more news on those later in the year. So maybe, yes, let's think about this. Maybe we'll have announcement. I did say some EA games. Maybe we'll have announcements about what those other EA games are. So we know Madden, we know FIFA, we know Jedi Fallen. Maybe Squadrons? What do you think, chat? Or Apex Legends, please. I was wondering that. We asked our studio audience, and they said, Does they have that? Presumably, well, knowing I work in TV, so formats travel across the world and they have the same thing. We asked our survey. Our survey said, Maybe that's what we should do. We should have played a game. Stadia Goat says Battlefront. We asked our Stadia audience, do we think Battlefront is coming? Our audience said, yeah, I'm joking, Stadia Goat. Could be. I'm intrigued what these other 2, maybe that's it. Maybe we'll find out what these other 2 EA games are. This is in real time, Giovanni Magana. I'm doing it live, yeah. It is 23:08 here in the UK, ladies and gentlemen. I like to do these. I'm a glutton for punishment. I like to do these things live, you know? I could do little short 20-minute kind of news updates and stuff, but where's the fun in that? It's a live show. We love it. We love a bit of a live show. In-house demo with full potential of Stadia. Oh, I am Stadia. That would be nice. I'm tempering my expectations. A little teaser. I don't think we'd get a full demo, but a teaser. A tiny little teaser. Or do you think I don't know, knowing Stadia, they just like to keep things back. Yeah, well, maybe other companies would drop a teaser. Do you know, I think it was about 8 years ago today. I think it was 8 years or 7 years ago. Somebody in chat can correct me. The first Cyberpunk teaser was, I think, was announced. Something like that. I'm sure I read it. Some 7 or 8 years ago today. But Stadia, you know, they like to keep things under wraps until the last minute. But it would be great to have a little kind of, you know, Stadia in-house entertainment. Sneaky peek. Oh, Giovanni, thank you, my friend. I'm glad you found it useful. Loads of people have found that Xbox sharing gold video. Sorry, off topic, everybody. Very useful. Yeah, Cyberpunk demo on Gen X tomorrow night. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, it was 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah, I think, but I'm sure I saw a tweet was saying 7 or 8. Is that some epic journey for a developer? Epic. Oh, speed. Need for speed. Yes. Holtz. I was a Burnout Paradise City fan. I love that game. 6 in the chat. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. 61 concurrent viewers we had. Woo! It's been amazing. I've seen lots of, but all the recent Stadia content vlogs and stuff. There was like tons, you know, on Sunny Cloud Gaming and Stadia Cast. Everybody's hyped and super hyped and excited. And we're even, you know, us people who try to keep it down are pretty hyped about it. And I'm taking, as I say, I'm taking that attitude that, hey, it is what it is tomorrow. Let's just enjoy it, you know. We're going to get stuff tomorrow that we didn't have today. And we're going to get stuff the next day that we didn't have today or yesterday. And we're going to get stuff the following day that we didn't have today, tomorrow, or the following day. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So it's all good. It's all good. We know Rainbow Six Siege is coming. Yeah. Oh, gosh. It will. Well, sort of. It's sort of until all the pros come on there, Dominic, with the Rainbow Six Siege. It's great. I do enjoy that game, though. Again, I'm not very good at these games, but I just like playing them, you know? We know it's coming for sure. We do, Hell Monkey. We do. We do. Yeah, come on, Rock. Fess up. He's going to say Destiny 1. Yeah, drop in tomorrow. Immortals Phoenix Rising. You heard it here. Did they not give a date to that in the first place? I can't remember. Or just later in the year. I'm dubious about the features, Wolock, but I think if any features are launched that aren't game specific, although you could argue Family Share is a game specific feature, it's all game specific. I think of all the features, if there are going to be any features, I think that may be the one. I'm just not that high up on thinking there'll be many feature announcements unless, as I say, unless they're game specific. But if there are, I think that's a good shout, really. I mean, everybody wants it. Cloudy Colin. 3rd of December. Thank you, Dominic. Yeah. So doesn't then that rule out Phoenix Rising? If they said it was coming the 3rd of December. Or is the game launching there, but we're getting an exclusive demo beforehand? What was the wording? Somebody find out the exact wording. I need the exact wording. The game might be launching on December the 3rd, but we're getting an exclusive demo. Does that mean the demo is coming December the 3rd, or possibly we could get the exclusive demo this week? Crowdplay will launch. Again, that's game specific, but I think, yeah, that's a good shout as well. Yeah, but Outcasters said they weren't part of the good stuff. I only corrected myself. I did in my original when I was writing this out. I did put Outcasters, but I think they tweeted that they weren't part of the good stuff. They could be double bluffing us, though. Could be double bluffing us. A Phoenix demo year celebration. What's that mean then, Rox? A Phoenix. Yeah. Maybe, Dylan, that's a good shout. Maybe some games that are due to come out within the next week or so have a demo and then a pre-order. That'd be quite a cool idea. Although you really want demos of games you can buy straight away. Yeah. It's very strange. That's the thing. The thing is, and then I noticed Avery from Stadia Source hyping everybody up even more by saying he knows something, which is a real tease, Avery. You know it is. I know you're desperate to tell people. Don't, yeah? Don't. But he is saying it's good stuff. And I think some of the other developers who are partly involved or are aware of things have also said, anecdotally, it's good stuff. Yeah, man. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Let's hope. Bandai Namco have to release their upcoming games for me to hype me up. Dragon Ball, DLC, Elden Rings, Paw Patrol. Yeah, but Paw Patrol, surely. Paw Patrol holds. Paw Patrol, get out, Holtz. What are you talking about? Untitled Goose Game. Isn't that by the same developers as Humans Fall Flat? No games allowed or something? Yeah, Dylan, I am as well. If we go back to quickly. Stadia only hands-on surprises. That has intrigued me, ladies and gentlemen. That bit's intrigued me. Stadia only hands-on surprises. Eric says he thinks Sekiro will drop. Oh, that looks so good. I know people say it's meant to be really hard. You've got to be really precise. Still looks good. Just my cup of tea, I think. Not because it's Japanese. It is because it's Japanese. A hands-on surprise. It is like what's hands-on. Some Stadia only as well. Stadia only hands-on surprises. Well, they're handing out cakes. I only said that because I'm looking at Cake Bash. Anyway, there we go. What is, I got... It could be anything. I think it's easy to work out what it's not and then see what you're left with. Don't overhype it and all of that. But there we go. We're going to call it a day there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for partaking, for being in the chat. Thank you for everybody who contributed to the super chats. I really, really appreciate it. It means so much to me. Thank you very much. Thank you for Sonny for joining the members team. Thank you, Sonny. Really appreciate all of that. As I say, I am hyped for tomorrow. I hope you're all hyped tomorrow. And no doubt we'll be watching it along with you all as well, enjoying it. But as I say, whatever your expectations are, just when it comes to it, flush them out your mind. Go in open-minded, not too many expectations, and you'll enjoy the whole thing a lot more. Trust me. I don't want anybody throwing their toys out of the pram tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to have to come round and tell any of you on your Twitter, on your Facebook or whatever that you're being that guy. Yeah? So do me a favor. Be good boys and good girls. Go to bed early. Father Christmas will arrive tomorrow, the next day, and the following day with goodies. Be grateful and enjoy them. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, again, thank you, one and all. I'll see you around very, very soon. Thank you.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.